Will he be able to win tournaments that way?
Trent Daddy, anti-Tiger guy today.
I'm just saying.
I know.
Fore by Barstool Sports. We are live. Instantly knee-jerk reactions to the 150th Open Championship. St. Andrews. Cam Smith wins with a back 930. I'm just devastated. I'm fucking devastated. Rory McIlroy. We're huge Rory McIlroy fans on this show. We talked a million times about how when you watch golf, no, we're not old school Big J journalists. We don't try to pretend like we're perfectly objective, this, that. I like Cam Smith. He seems sweet. He's got a mullet. He likes to fish. That's great. I just wanted Rory McIlroy to win. That's it. I thought it'd be so fucking great for the storyline, for him. I just root for him. He drags us along on his journey with how honest and open and authentic he is. So you know how much this means to him. To have Tiger crisscrossing with him on Friday, it just seemed everything was perfect. He holed out the bunker shot on the 10th hole on Saturday. Everything's perfect. And then he hit 18 greens in regulation, had 36 putts, which is like a lurch-like round. He's not even fucking here. And somehow Rory McIlroy did not win the golf tournament. It sucks. It just fucking sucks.
Yeah, I'm bummed.
But good job, Cam Smith.
Congrats, Cam Smith. It felt like the perfect guy, perfect tournament, perfect time. Rory McIlroy. And then it just didn't happen. He just made no putts the whole day. 36 of them. I mean, there were probably 10 of them that I thought were in. And I was like, all right, now we're rolling. Now we're going. And it's just going to happen. And then Cam Smith lit the golf course on fire on the back nine, made 5 birdies in a row. And all of a sudden it was like, what the fuck is going on? We thought it was going to be Victor Hovland, who was paired with Rory McIlroy. He had a kind of a shit day, didn't play that well. So the road was clear for our guy Rory to win the 150th Open Championship at St. Andrews. And that mullet motherfucker, who seems like a great guy, came out and snatched it away from Rory McIlroy. I'm bummed as well. I was rooting hard for Rory McIlroy. I was rooting hard against Cam Smith. I was rooting for Cam Smith shots to go in bunkers. It's a dirty business. I know that, but I was all in. I was with the kid behind Rory McIlroy who had his fingers crossed. I was doing that. I was doing the work. Everybody who was rooting for Rory McIlroy was doing the work. Everybody at that golf course, everybody at home, and he just couldn't make a putt. And it didn't happen, and he didn't win, and I'm fucking bummed about it.
Simply devastating. It really is. Storylines. It's just Rory's a guy you root for. Not saying Cam Smith's not, but he's just not.
He was just the guy who got in the way this time.
In a situation like that, you just don't root for Cam Smith. And listen, he's a fucking awesome guy. He's charismatic. He's got a lot of things going for him. He was drinking a beer right after, and the thing just said beer on it. It was a really cool little cup he was drinking. Just like everything about him's cool. He's got the mullet. He had the Oz etched into his hair, that one slow-mo video that always goes viral after he wins. He's fucking amazing character for golf. But Rory McIlroy is the guy. He's the fucking prince. He is the guy that's going to sell the tickets, put the asses in the seats, and we wanted to see him win this fucking major at the old course in St. Andrews. Kids are they're sitting behind him, like you said, and everyone has their fingers crossed, and they just want Rory to do it. And he didn't even putt bad, which is crazy.
No.
Like, he actually putt really well. Like, his lag putts were unbelievable. He just couldn't get it done. I think going into the 16th hole, they showed a stat that at that point, he had 27 feet total of putts made, and Cam Smith through that time had 87 feet of putts made, which is just an astronomically large number compared to Rory. I mean, what are we even talking about there?
Right.
60 extra feet of putts made?
We've seen Rory putt poorly in a tournament and lose it. Like, that is the thing we've seen. That was not the case today. He putted pretty well. He putted well enough, but clearly not well enough when Cam Smith he shoots 30 on the back. It's just that's hard to beat.
Yeah, there's no chance to say that Rory blew it really. Do you think that he blew it? Because Cam Smith fucking earned it.
No.
Like 264s at the Open at the old course is fucking nuts.
No, and it's hard to step up there on this golf course where there's pop bunkers everywhere and rip driver after driver hitting them 350 yards. And then a lot of these pins, like on the 3rd hole and on the 6th hole when he putted that one, a lot of these pins are in crazy little spots where it wasn't that it was super hard to make pars. It was like pretty tricky to make birdies, and that's obviously that kind of tournament that it turned into with no wind. And so he, under pressure, was ripping drives. He was hitting it down the middle. He was hitting these crafty little wedges in pretty close. On the third hole, he missed a putt, short one. You're thinking like, oh no. And then he 2 putts on the fifth hole, makes a birdie, and you're like, okay, we're fine. And then just nothing went in. And you start thinking like it's like in hockey when your team is dominating, but you run into a hot goalie and you feel like it's just going to be one of those days where we can't score, even though we know we're playing good enough to win. And it was like that with Rory. And then all of a sudden it took one guy, Cam Smith, makes 8 million birdies in a row, pouring them in from everywhere. Perfect speed. They're never missing the hole. And you start to think like, at some point, we might just be trailing in this golf tournament. And then it was just over. It was like, oh, he has to hold this 81-foot wedge shot or the tournament's over. And it just kind of happened. It blitzed you in the face. I didn't think he putted terribly. There are times when, like, you alluded to it, Frankie, when you look at Rory, who's standing over a putt, and he's like out of the putt, half a second after he hits it because it never had a chance. It wasn't on line. He doesn't think it's going in. It's not going in. This felt like he was going to make putts the whole day. It felt like on 17 he was going to make that putt for birdie, and he just never made a fucking putt. He never
Danny
made
Rappaport tweeted that 9 was a huge moment, and at the time you didn't even think that much about it. You're like, oh, that probably should have went in for Rory. And like, I wish that would have dropped. But then all of a sudden, once he misses that, Cam Smith just goes 5 birdies in a row, like right on your ass. And you're like, what the fuck just happened? Now, hold on. Like, if we make that on 9, maybe things are a little bit different. We can keep up with Cam Smith. But you missed that, and it's a pivotal turning point.
Cam Smith's par putt on 16 or 17 hurt my feelings in a big way.
17 was an insane up and down.
Was it 16 where he had, or maybe whichever one it was, 16 or 17. I thought he was going to miss that par putt, and then he just didn't, because he hit his first, it was 17. He hit his first bad shot of the day, his bad approach shot. And we're just like, all right, now he's going to have to get up and down, and that's going to be a miracle. And then he did it, and it was like, fuck, it feels like no matter what Rory does, and he didn't do a ton, but he didn't do a ton wrong either. Cam Smith is just going to be there making putts and winning the tournament. Fuck.
If you hear airport noise, because Lurch just joined.
The hell?
I've been trying to stay on mute, but yeah, I've been listening along. I mean, it was just the most insane finish. Is the background noise terrible?
No.
Okay.
Not,
yeah,
maybe
I don't think Rory. I'll go on mute here until I get my bags, and then I'll jump back in the cab. It should be a little quieter, but I just don't think Rory put it close enough to the hole. Like, he just didn't really stick any balls down the stretch that I was like, now he can make that one. He always had, it felt like 18 plus feet. And those just like the percentages are just against you. Now, yeah, Cam Smith's putter was the most ridiculous weapon of all time as soon as he turned around and came back in. Yeah, it was just a bummer. The Cams just got in the way, both of them. And it could have been just the best thing of all time. I couldn't believe how great of a moment it felt like it was going to be. And then, yeah, I saw that tweet too from Danny Rappaport. It felt like 9. As soon as he missed that, the world fell away from him, and then everything was over for him.
It's true. It was right there. And it's just like, I can't, like, the only thing I can think about is just a couple of like missed long putts for birdie. Aside from that, like, Rory just played a really good round of golf. Like, you can't like pinpoint really a moment where you're like, he blew it or he didn't step up to the moment. Like, sure, it's like amazing to think about these long birdie putts to be draining in. Like, obviously you want him to like chip in on 18 or on 17 you make that birdie putt. That's a tough fucking birdie putt on the road hole. Like, what do we like that? Like, how many guys even make that? Like, Cam Smith literally had to make the up and down of the century just to make a par. So I mean, it's hard to pinpoint like one moment because I thought he just played like a pretty fantastic Sunday round.
The guy who shoots 64 on a Sunday deserves to win.
He just wins.
He just wins.
He won. He went out and won the golf tournament. And look, hopefully you have less than 36 putts when you go to Myrtle Beach. We got to talk about play golf Myrtle Beach very quickly. Our trip to Myrtle Beach is coming up. I think it'll be nice to play some American golf for us where we can drop the ball in, spin it, stop it. We'll be looking at the ocean. We'll be looking at sandy white beaches because that's what Myrtle Beach, South Carolina has. It's the golf capital of the world, home to more than 70 golf courses. 2 of the courses you must visit during Myrtle Beach, Caledonia Golf and Fish Club and True Blue Golf Club. People were telling me, I think Caledonia might be a Mike Strantz, which is the same guy that did Tobacco Road. And maybe True Blue is as well. Somebody was sending me that, which I didn't even realize. I hadn't looked that much into it. If that's the case, Mike Strantz, like the boldest, craziest, most interesting course architect that we've probably ever dealt with our experience with Tobacco Road. Fun fact, that was the first ever Travel Series video we made. But point being, Myrtle Beach has it all. Both layouts have been named by all major publications as top 100 public golf courses in America. Their must-plays in Myrtle Beach. You visit CaledoniaGolfVacations.com to plan your golf trip, and be sure to tell them Foreplay sent you. They're going to help you out. 19th hole overlooking the 18th green at Caledonia is a must. It's got numerous restaurants, waterfront bars, fishing charters, and the beach just minutes away. So if you're depressed, sad that Rory McIlroy didn't win, you're looking for a good time, something to look forward to, go to CaledoniaGolfVacations.com, plan your golf trip. Be sure to tell them that us, Foreplay, sent you. I do agree that I guess the reason we're probably saying like, oh, it felt like Rory McIlroy didn't putt poorly but nothing winning is because he wasn't hitting it close enough to the hole. I don't know if he was playing a little bit too conservatively, just kind of like feeling everything out. It was tough that like him and Victor Hovland just couldn't get any momentum going, and the groups in front did, and that's tough in sports and anything when you can't get momentum going to try to like find it from somewhere. But it like on the third hole, I thought he hit it pretty damn tight when Victor Hovland like missed his, and then Rory had what it looked like a maybe 6, 7, 8 footer to take the lead at that point, and he lipped out on 6 when he had the situation where he drove it so far up there that he decided to putt from like 56 yards. Even then, you're thinking like, okay, one of the best players in the world from 56 yards. Whether he's putting and it's crazy and it's the old course and it's firm and all the bullshit, like we'd like to see him get it pretty close there. On 9, same deal. He drove it up just short right of the green. Didn't get it that close. 10, he drove it on the green, and finally, like, okay, it took 2 more putts for him. Then, 11, he didn't hit it particularly close. 12 is another one where that pin's up on that fucking knob, and he drove it up there pretty close to the green and pitched it to what, like 12 feet. So again, like the odds are he's not going to make a 12-footer. That was the same point when Cam Smith was just hooping it. And the par 5, 14th, I mean, he has to birdie that. He hits the ball farther than everybody else. He drove it down the middle. He had like that driving iron in his hands, came up short in that weird spot, and then again lagged it to like 12 feet, miss a 12-footer. Like, that's not choking. That's just like, you're going to miss 12-footers. That's how hard golf is. And yeah, it added up. I mean, he even finished fucking second. He finished third place.
Justin Ray just tweeted, as far back as the stats go, Rory McIlroy is the only player to hold the 54 lead at a major, hit every single green in regulation in the final round, and not win. There's a big difference between choking and just not, like, stepping up, right? Do you see, like, a difference between that?
Yeah,
like he just, like, he was, like, he just never, like, won it. Like, Rory never did the thing to win, but that's not choking, I don't think.
Yeah, no, there's
He
definitely...
didn't make an 8. Like, he didn't fucking, like, shit on himself.
You can either win it, you can lose it, or you can just shoot a 70 and not win the tournament. That's, like, absolutely acceptable, and that's what happened today.
But, like, bettors, like, people that were all backing on Rory McIlroy, which was all of us, everyone wanted it. Like, they're looking at Rory being like, make a fucking putt. I saw Hank tweeting out right now, like, how does he not make one putt all day? 36 putts? Like, you don't make one? So it is frustrating. It's like, it's hard. Definitely. It's because you watch him for 18 holes, you're like, you got to make one. You have to make one to win. You have to. But then the guy fucking hits every single green in regulation. You're like, he's playing well. It's like really, it's hard to fucking handle. It's really hard to handle. It's frustrating as fuck.
It's frustrating too. Like, I feel bad for Rory now. He's got 8 months until the Masters, right? So he's got to wait. Then there'll be the build up. I mean, imagine what these 8 months would be like if he was just the reigning Open champion at the 150th at St. Andrews. Everything would be perfect. He'd go into Augusta with a huge weight lifted off his shoulders, even though he hasn't won there yet. Everything would be glorious. He'd be the most recent major champ. He would have gotten over the hurdle. Now it's everything that I just said reversed in the negative times like 100, because now it's going to be 9 years since he's won a major. He's going to be viewed as he blew it, even though he didn't, but he had a couple stroke lead going into the back 9 at the old course, couldn't get anything done. I feel for the guy. I just feel for him. And I think that was a huge part of it too, was like, every time you miss a putt, Rory missed a putt. Like the first hole, he could have made a putt for birdie. Third hole, he could have made one for birdie. Every time you miss, you start to think like, oh, is it one of those days where I'm just missing everything? And then it turned out to be one of those days where he just missed everything. And it compounds on top of itself, which is kind of a, very reflective of his last 8 or 9 years in major championships. So I feel for Rory because I love him. I think he's the most lovable guy. I think he's like one of the most lovable superstars in all of sports. And he's kind of our guy in golf. He's the prince of golf. He carries the torch. We want to see him win because I think he can transcend golf and elevate it to another level where people start to be pulled in and say like, oh, this Rory McIlroy guy, I might not be a golf guy, but I like this fucking fella. He's our guy. And when he doesn't win, I think that there's, I don't think it reaches as many people. It's kind of like, oh, that other guy won, great, and they don't really pay attention as much. Whereas if Rory won, I think it could have really done some amazing things in catapulting the game yet again. So I'm just fucking sad, man. I'm sad.
Yeah, when he won,
real quick, shout out to the Unders Club. I just want to get that
yeah.
in there. The Unders Club has hit. Probably one of the best designs we've ever put on a t-shirt. We got a lot of hate when we put out that number of 18 under, and it had to go 18 under or better, and it just hit. It hit pretty easily. What was it, 3 guys that were at that number? I think officially it was 3
Cam
guys.
Young, Cam Smith, and
Rory.
Rory.
The replies to my original tweet of the Unders Club was just, oh my God, reading those back, I just wanted to get naked and just hold myself. Because it's like
keeping receipts. I like that.
Oh, it was so easy because every response was zero fucking chance this hit. No shot in the world this hits. One guy, Casual Water Golf, he says, this is some Roger Goodell shit, Stool Presidente. Absolutely criminal you allow this on your book. No chance this hits. You're printing no shirts ever, you cheese wiener. Shut the fuck up. It fucking hit. All right? And it's a great shirt, so everyone that betted on the Barstool Sportsbook, you're going to be getting your shirt, and you won the bet. So it's a good day on the book.
All I was going to say about Rory McIlroy, and we can move on because, it's just we're all just devastated. But I remember vividly back in 2014 when he won 2 majors in a row. I was blogging back then, and it just felt different. As like covering golf a little bit at that time, you're just kind of looking for something to hold on to. And Rory winning 2 majors in a row and just taking over the sports world, it just felt way different than anything else. Even Spieth in 2015, when he was on fire, it was not the same as Rory. For whatever reason, when Rory McIlroy is the big motherfucking swinging dick in the golf world, it's just way more fun to cover golf, to talk about golf. More people who don't watch and follow golf start to watch and follow it because it's just Rory. It's something about him. I don't know if it's because his name is Rory or it's just the swagger that he has. Whenever he's got it going on and he's winning majors, golf is way more fun to cover and talk about. So it's just a missed opportunity on every level. Fuck.
Sucks. Fucking sucks. I'm hungover as fuck today, too. I went to a wedding last night. They ripped my fucking shirt and my belly was hanging out. It was just like, and so now to wake up, you're watching the Open, you're like, all right, Rory's going to cheer me up. I got this historical viewing of golf right now. I'm in my bed. I'm fucking watching golf and the Open. We were just in St. Andrews, the whole thing, and then Rory just fucking doesn't win. It was a kick in the dick watching Cam Smith walk around this fucking mullet. I like Cam Smith, too. He's fucking electric. Cam Smith's fucking electric.
So do I. I like the guy a lot. It just went from us being able, like, it being a we were there event. Like, oh, we were at the 150th and Rory went to kind of I think it'll be a relatively forgettable, like, it'll be like, oh yeah, Cam Smith won that one. That was great. It was great theater, but like, it is what it is, no big deal. Whereas if Rory makes it and he's like back, he's reemerged as the guy, I think he would have catapulted to number 1 because he's number 2 in the world. So I figured he'd be at 1 or close. That would have been the thing. That would have been like, he grabbed it. He's back. He's doing it. He's in this next stage of his life where he's got the kid Poppy and he's married and he's the guy on the PGA Tour. And instead, Cam Smith was his penguin and his fucking mullet is like drinking a can that people were tweeting at me wasn't even a beer can now.
I think it was a water. I think it was a water can.
And it says
Did
beer on
beer?
it?
Did somebody tweet something at me?
No,
that said
I think
beer?
it said ER on it, didn't it? You couldn't see the other letters.
Okay, it just says water.
That would be my guess.
Being made fun of like I can't read on the internet, so it's just shitty. It's just the whole fucking thing is just shitty. Oh, I wish it was Rory McIlroy that had won the thing. And that's what makes watching golf so tricky is that it's not like I dislike Cam Smith. I love Cam Smith. The guy's fucking great. If it was Cam Smith against, any normal field of players down the stretch, contenders, like I probably would have been rooting for Cam Smith. I like the guy a lot, but just turned out it was Rory McIlroy.
But here's the thing. You can't please everybody because a big critique that people give us sometimes is that we root for everybody. And then when a day like this comes around and I am just full on balls to the wall, rooting for Rory and rooting for bad things to happen to Cam Smith and his golf game, then people are like, fuck you, you don't fuck, Cam Smith's fucking awesome, fuck off. It's like, all right, well, I'm doing the thing where I'm rooting for one guy. Doesn't matter who the other guy is. Doesn't matter if it's Cam Smith or the most likable dude in the world. I just want Rory to win, and I'm going to root for him. So you're never going to please everybody. So I wanted Rory to win. I wanted Cam Smith to lose. That's just the way that it is.
Yeah.
I will say, though, one thing that is cool is this does, for Rory, keep alive the thrill of the chase. Like we've always said when your team wins a championship, the journey is clearly better than the final result. Even though the result's great, you celebrate, it feels so good. The journey is the best part. And
No.
yes, it sucks, it hurts, but we get to continue the chase, and that is part of being a Rory fan in this era over the last 8 or 9 years. Is like,
No, dude.
we're just hurting, man. Our heart is on our sleeve. We're bleeding all over the place. We're making a mess of the bar because we're bleeding. There's red stains, and we just are still on that right now.
No, Rory included, we're ready to get off this ride. I want to get off. I've been on this ride for 8 years. I feel nauseous. I've thrown up on myself 50 times. Get me off this ride. And then once the win happens, then we're just like, all right, now if he gets another one, like 5, 6, how many is he going to get? And we're still just at 4. And we've been at 4 since I was in my mid-20s, which is insane. I'm an old man now.
Fuck.
And I was in my mid-20s when Rory was the guy, and he was going to win 10 majors, no problem. And we're still at 4.
I had just turned 20 when he won.
I was
Dude,
I was
Rory was
25.
Rory was 25 years old when he won
Him
his
and I are the
last,
same age, yeah.
major championship. That's outrageous.
They just
He was
interviewed
only
him
25.
walking off 18. Well, I saw it. I was trying to read some of the transcript, and they're like, how do you feel? It's been 8 years since you won a major. How are you feeling walking off 18? He just was like, disappointed. It's like,
Yep.
it's like I'm disappointed. And then I saw a couple of things he was saying was like, I didn't feel like I really did anything wrong today. The putter just went cold. He goes, I put myself in the positions I wanted to all day. And it's true. And that's kind of more to what we've been saying on this show today is like, you watched him and you're like, all right, we got a chance. Great shot. Good drive. Right in the green. Got a birdie putt. Miss. All right, let's go to the next one. Birdie putt. Miss. It's like, fuck. We're going to get one soon. And then the holes ran out. Like, we just didn't have enough holes. We needed like 21 holes for Rory to win this major.
Victor Hovland is a perfect example of how you don't win a tournament. Like, if
Yeah.
you look at Victor's day, you say that guy didn't even come close and just didn't have the stuff to win it. Was never going to win that golf tournament today.
Found himself in bunkers, hitting the ball sideways. Like, there was just a lot of moments where, like, if Victor was, yeah, like you could say, like, Victor definitely didn't play up to how he should have played today for sure. Like, he almost, like, lost it more than Rory did, and whatever. It's like picking and choosing who won, who didn't. Fucking Cam Smith won the thing. Rory should have won. His putter should have been hotter. It's as simple as that. You have to make a putt. It sucks, but it is what it is. Fuck, man. Like, everything that we bought, too, at St. Andrews would have been, like, worth a little bit more, too, if Rory won. Like, a fucking flag. I got all the little pins. I got the fucking ball markers with the 150th on them. Come on,
Dude, then
man.
we could have, like, when we do media day, we could have brought that stuff and had Rory sign a couple flags.
me.
Now we've got like 150th Open Championship flag signed by the champ, and now it's just like the third place guy signed it. That's cool. Like, whatever. It would have been cool as your TaylorMade guy. It'd be great for our friends at TaylorMade, for the whole squad.
Oh, selfishly again, and I actually hadn't thought about this till right now. I mean, every video that we've done with Rory has done massive views, but it would be even bigger because whenever a guy wins a tournament that we have done something with, people just go on YouTube and put Rory McIlroy into their search machine, and our video comes up, and it would just fucking even more views.
I always wonder that. People just search that. Like, I just want to see more of this guy. I always think about that. We see like huge spikes when the guys that we've done videos with win. That just spikes up. People are just being like, "Oh, I like that guy. I just want to watch a little bit more of him golf."
I think that's how it works.
Yeah, I do think that's how it's like when Elon Musk, when he's like rumors he's going to buy Twitter. I think people go on YouTube and just type in Elon Musk, and I
it's
imagine
true.
like the Joe Rogan episodes, and that's what I do. They just
it's true.
skyrocket. I'm like, oh fuck. SimpliSafe, thinking of skyrocketing. You can skyrocket your security in a very simple way at your home. It's advanced whole home security that puts you, your home, and your family's safety first. Here's why I love it. SimpliSafe offers comprehensive protection not only against intruders and burglary, but against expensive home hazards from flooding to fires. With 24/7 professional monitoring, SimpliSafe's agents take action the moment a threat is detected, dispatching police or first responders in an emergency, even if you're not home. SimpliSafe uses proprietary video verification technology, so monitoring agents can visually confirm the threat in order to get higher priority 911 dispatch. That's amazing. How about that technology right there? SimpliSafe family's been using it. God, we've been doing this podcast 5.5 years or something like that. So I would say my family, my parents probably been using SimpliSafe for 4 years, 4.5 years they've been using it. In the St. Louis home, Colorado home, been extremely safe. Got cameras Pinehurst home. We got a couple cameras up there, so we're not there. You can just, through this app on the phone, just literally look at what's going on. You can change the access code to the front door. You can just do all kinds of stuff with SimpliSafe. Their technology is amazing. And again, all we want in this world is things to be incredibly simple so that you don't have to waste days, hours. You don't have to try to call customer service, even though theirs is great, to try to figure out how to set it up. It's just insanely easy and simple. That's why their company's called SimpliSafe. You can customize the perfect system for your home in just a few minutes at SimpliSafe.com/foreplay. Go today and claim a free indoor security camera plus 20% off with interactive monitoring. That's a great deal. Go to SimpliSafe.com/foreplay. That is SimpliSafe.com/foreplay. All right. I do have to say that a hot putter versus anything else feels like it's just always going to win. It just feels that way. And when you know a guy is just on the green and he's got 5 feet, 15 feet, whatever it is, and you're like, oh, this guy's been making everything. This thing's probably going in. That times 9 or 18 holes feels like it's going to win. And when you got that sensation early, especially midway through the second 9, you got that sensation. It was like, oh God. And that was pretty much exactly what happened. So shout out to Cam Smith. I know we've been dogging it and we're going back and forth. And no, in this situation, he was the villain. Rory McIlroy was our hero. But Cam Smith, I saw somebody just tweeting that, like, now he's probably going to win PGA Tour Player of the Year. He won the Players Championship. He's won a few other times, including now the Open Championship, 150th. Played extremely, extremely well. And yeah, Scotty had those like 4 wins and 6 starts. He won the Masters. But overall, I think you have a Players and a British Open at St. Andrews. Plus, where else did he win? I can't remember exactly. Oh, did he win the Hero? Did he, or the Tournament of Champions? Didn't he shoot like 33 under par or something and won there?
Is that right? That was so long ago.
Forever ago, but the guy's just been on fuego, and now, amazingly, I think it's going to catapult him to potentially winning PGA Tour Player of the Year, a Players Championship, and British Open. I think that they were saying like only him and Jack Nicklaus have done that. British Open at the Old Course, which is pretty good company. So yes, we're devastated, but Cam Smith, shout out to Cam Smith, because I know we probably haven't given him enough credit. Just a fucking unbelievable golfer, that guy, at this point.
Yeah, I feel like I'm going to dog him a little bit again. I think Scotty still wins PGA Tour Player of the Year.
Yeah.
Just feels that way. I could be wrong. Right. It's you're splitting hairs at that point with a season from both those guys. But yeah, Scotty's he won just so many in a row, it felt like, and then the Masters. But yeah, Cam Smith, it feels like when Cam Smith gets hot, he's just maybe the most unstoppable player currently. He just starts rolling downhill and just makes putts. And like you said before, Riggs, that was the difference maker today. If Roy could putt even a little bit, he wins that tournament. He couldn't. Cam Smith made a bunch of putts and won the tournament.
Dude, I'm looking right now too. Cam Smith in his 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 PGA Tour victories he's got, 3 of them were in a playoff, and the other 3 he won by 1 stroke. So when he is in these, when he wins, he is clutch and ballsy as fuck down the stretch. 3 playoff wins and 3 wins by 1 stroke. That's amazing.
And he charges quickly. Is Lurch in the front seat of a cab?
And
why?
Trouble with the back seats. So we got the golf bags back there. Just me and my guy riding home here.
Oh,
so,
boy.
As always, leaving Newark Airport never easy. But got the bags, thank God. Even though there's always a mix-up, whether they come on carousel 3 or oversized bags. They screwed it up again. They say carousel 3.
They're
it
never
actually
clear
comes
enough
oversized.
about that.
No,
never clear enough
it's
about
like,
that.
Why
infuriating.
can't we get that right? It really is.
I would prefer
but
if they made a
boys,
hard line rule that all of golf bags are going to be oversized. I think we should just do that. Let's just do that.
I agree.
Or make the carousels acceptable. Make the carousels just be able to accept golf bags. Why do we need an over? You know what I mean?
Fair.
Why do we need,
but I think as
places?
it stands right now, they're mostly not.
In Phoenix, they come out on the carousel. All the golf bags just come
Vegas
out on the carousel,
too.
and it's never been an issue. It's just they just are carousel doable, and I've never understood. I have to give a shout out while we're talking about this subject to United Airlines. I've had a couple bad experiences with a few other airlines recently. British Airways, I still don't have my fucking bag.
That's insane.
And Delta, who just told me to talk to Delta, even though I was looking at a lady that said Delta all over her fucking person. But United Airlines the other day, because I have all of the things that I've acquired over the last 2 weeks in my golf bag with my golf clubs, plus like 7 other golf clubs that TaylorMade gave us. So my golf bag might be 80 pounds. And I rolled up to United Airlines the other day, flying back to St. Louis. We got the Barstool Classic here tomorrow. And I just said to the guy, I was like, checking my bags. And I go, hey, my bag's way over. I got to be honest with you. And he just goes, no problem. And he tagged it and just took it back and put it on the belt. And I just went on with my day. And I was like, that was awesome. The guy legit I was like, it's way over. So let's just get this out of the way. And he goes, yeah, no problem. Tagged it, went on the way. Everything was fantastic. So and we got in like 15 minutes early. So shout out
on
to
our
him.
way to Scotland, I thought I was going to have, or on our way back, I thought I was going to have a situation where it was going to be too heavy. And they just sort of quietly put a heavy tag on it, and then it was just over. Like, I didn't owe any more money. I don't know if that's because I've like gained a status thing by flying Delta a million times, but like they just were like, have a good day, and they put a huge orange tag that said heavy on it.
Feels like there's no bigger favor in the world than when that happens and they put heavy on it and there's no other ask. It's just,
I thought for
oh,
sure
you're good, sir. Off you go.
I thought for sure a conversation was going to be had. Like
yeah, the guy acknowledged it. He put heavy on there. It's like, well, how can it be heavy and you're not going to charge me? That doesn't even make sense.
Once I saw the orange go on there, I'm like, oh boy, I'm here for another 10 minutes. Instead, I was just
Lurch, give us your takes. I'm sure you got some takes on the golf, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it was just a bummer. Like, I think all you guys hit on it exactly. It was just like the cams got in the way. This was Rory's day. It was 150th. Rory's been the guy. He's been the PGA Tour leader of like everything. And this was just his time to shine. And it's just incredibly frustrating that he wasn't able to get over the hurdle and get it done. I was rooting for him so hard down the stretch and really throughout the whole tournament. But it was just, it was infuriating. I agree. Like, you all made great points. And like, I don't know, it'd be interesting to know like a stat of who's capable of making like 4 and 5 plus birdies in a row, because at one point it felt like Cam was just going to birdie the last 9 holes and be done with the tournament. And I feel like he does get as hot as anybody else on the PGA Tour. And it was just incredible to see him do that. 17, the up and down was world class. His clutch putting all day. He got in trouble maybe on 12 and did the same thing, buried a putt that was just dead to rights coming down the hill, a little right to left, like right in the middle. And it was sad to see, Rory not come out. And then the other thing that I had like a moment of solace was I thought about Tiger with like 4 holes to go. And I was like, could Tiger play at this level? And it just got me thinking of like, could he, even if he was at his best right now, made the cut, like, is he capable of that level of golf that we saw down the stretch? Because between the Cams and Rory, there really wasn't a shot missed for 18 holes of golf between all 3 of them. It was one of the finer, like, watches of golf that I've ever had. It was just exceptional. There was like shot after shot, and I was just hard and then incredibly soft after 17 when Rory floated that win in there to like 15 feet. I was like, dude, we got this. And then as soon as he missed that, that's when the noise of the Cams exploded for the eagle and the birdie, and it was just over.
Incredibly soft.
But it was just, it was as good as what did you say, hard and soft?
You said it, and then I became incredibly soft. That just made me that made me laugh.
Yeah, I mean, how did it make you feel, Frank?
Yeah, I was soft.
I mean,
Definitely soft.
It was like you couldn't even get hard after that.
My dick was inside my body. Yeah, it was bad.
To that point, I do think Tiger could do that. I think the way Rory played, I think Tiger could do. It was very like methodical, choosing the right positions, getting himself on the green with a chance to make a birdie, and hopefully, like, I would think if Tiger was at his A game, he'd be able to make a couple of them. But nothing like, we could talk about Tiger. I mean, Tiger was a huge disappointment, obviously, and I think he's disappointed. I don't think it really had anything to do at some point with health. I think he just played pretty poorly, and I think he even alluded to that. Like, I just played bad. And that sucks. That really does suck, because the guy walked like 58 holes or whatever it was. Like, he just walked a tremendous amount of holes before the round, before Thursday. So I don't think it had anything to do with him not feeling great or his knee was hurting or whatever, or his leg. I just think he just didn't play well, which sucks.
Yeah, I agree with that. I was stunned at his play because he looked good. He looked physically like fine. I thought he was walking way better. He didn't look like he was really grimacing. He wasn't limping with as much of a hard limp as he had been throughout the other tournaments. And it just was like he just played like shit, which I thought, again, was pretty shocking. He knows that place inside and out. Even in that Champions Challenge thing, he was like 2 under through 4 holes. So you're kind of thinking like, all right, he can go out there and get some momentum. I think he just had to shoot even par to make the cut. And it seemed pretty easy to shoot, a handful under if you could just kind of keep your ball under control, put it in the right spots, and lag putt, make a couple putts. Like that was pretty much what the golf course was offering, and nobody's done that better than Tiger Woods. He shot 9 over and played terrible. So I thought it was pretty shocking. Like when he posted all those rounds on the weekends over par, when he made the cut at the Masters and made the cut at Southern Hills before he withdrew, I didn't think that was surprising on the weekend because he just ran out of gas and he just wasn't strong enough and his leg couldn't hold up. That was understandable. I thought physically he looked mostly fine and just played terrible golf, which again was really shocking. And it was from the get-go. When his ball rolled into that divot and then he hit it way short and it just pathetically dribbled into the burn and then he missed a short putt for bogey, I was like, it's over. As much build-up as there was, it was over before it started.
His second swing of the tournament, it was over.
When you guys are saying, do you think I think Tiger certainly nowadays has a round like the one that Rory had today. I do not think he has a Cam Smith round in him anymore. A 64 like that, fucking 5 straight birdies on the back. That to me is gone. I don't see that being a possibility.
I mean, the odds are in your favor, obviously. I mean, like, it would be insane to watch Tiger fucking fire 64.
But was that the question?
Yeah, like, does he have that ability anymore? I think he has the ability. It's just like the day that it happens is the day that it would happen. Like, there's no like stats or anything to back my take up on it. I think that's why I think it favors your side for sure more. He just doesn't do that anymore. But I think he has it in him. So do I. And I think like at the end of the day, I think that he believes he has it in him, and that's what matters. Like I don't, I like this tournament though. I get that we have a bad feeling because it seemed like they just played lights out and nobody can ever play up to that level. But 2 majors ago at the PGA, like people fell apart left and right. I think 5 or 6 under got in a playoff and won it. So like I do think that it feels less likely now that he could have won this golf tournament. But I do think when you look, I mean, he posted around under par at the PGA Championship. So if he just did that, 4 days, which is obviously saying a lot, I think he could have won that tournament. This one does feel like a pretty far-fetched. Like
I do find it incredibly concerning that he skipped the U.S. Open. He had this in his sights. He was arguably about as mentally invested pre-tournament as you can be, the way he was talking about it, how he skipped the previous major, and then he goes out there and just shits all over the place. That is a red flag to me. And I don't want to be that Tiger guy on this podcast. We've never been that Tiger guy on this podcast before. But the lead up, the way he was talking, the amount that he walked before, all signs were pointing for him to have at least a pretty good run at this tournament, and it was just never, ever in the cards, even after the first hole.
No, even the weather was substantial. Like, it was like, this could be a Tiger show. Like, there was nothing that was like, what's wrong with this? And yeah, I mean, God, did the world unravel after that ball fell in the divot and then into the, like, that was just, God, what could have been a worse start. I mean, I know you guys dog on me sometimes for Lurch's loose picks. I put 5 units on Tiger to do a team 40, and that was just, he was out after the first day.
We don't dog on you for Lurch's loose picks. You're just, I mean, you're one of the worst gamblers in 2022, I would say.
Horrific.
Yeah, probably. I had Rory to win, and then the only hit I had was eat a top 10, which really didn't pay for anything because there was 8 other loser units. But yeah, it was a real shame. It was a real shame, man. I wanted everything in the world. I mean, just wanted Rory to win so goddamn bad. It just wasn't up to snuff. How'd you guys think the course fared? I thought it held up because, like, we talked about it being 20 under, that, like, too many birdies, but I thought it was actually perfect. Like, yes, what I say, like, grow out the fescue a little bit so you can't just drive it over bunkers into the rough, but I thought it was amazing because the trouble still was stroke plus penalty.
Yeah, I want to get to some more Tiger stuff, but we can hold off because I do want to get to the 18th and his whole walk and all of that. But I obviously want to talk about the golf course because it's probably the most famous golf course in the world.
it's a good debate because we always root for the course, right? And we very much are like, even though it shouldn't matter, we don't want to see 20 or 30 under par win at a major championship. I think at the old course, I didn't care. And the reason is because the for whatever reason, the style of golf made it interesting. Like 9 and 10, for example, where pretty much everybody could drive it up near the green. I thought those holes, in 12 too, those holes were interesting because you kind of adjusted, you had to adjust the par. Like the par was 3.5. So it wasn't that it was that those holes are difficult holes. It's that it's more difficult to make birdie than you think. So like those guys would drive it up near there and then things would get interesting. It's like, do they bump it? Do they run it? Do they putt it? Is it going to skip around that bunker? And it made it really intriguing to realize that like, instead of par being a premium, it was like you knew the holes where they really needed to make birdies. And yes, there's a lot of them out there because the course, that's just what it was giving up. There was no wind. So I actually thought that I was more accepting of the course playing where the winner was 20 under par than I thought I might be, because usually we root against that. So I think that you're just going to have to accept that around this course, especially when there's basically no wind, people are probably going to shoot 15 to 20 under is going to win it. And I don't think that's a big deal. I think it was fine.
You know who does not like this golf course? Matthew Fitzpatrick.
Hates it.
Hates it. He said not a fan is what he said. He said that they essentially they just kept tucking pins, and that's the only way to protect the golf course is to tuck the pins. He also said that he felt like he was hitting good shots and that with the weird bounces, he just wasn't getting the results that he thought he was going to get. Now, I feel like a lot of people are going to disagree with Fitzpatrick on that, but at least he's the only guy who is sort of saying like, this thing is not going to stick up to the modern game because the only way to protect it is weather, which is the most unpredictable thing in the world, or you tuck pins everywhere to the point where even if you hit a good shot onto the green, you put it on a slope or you tuck it to the point where you have no shot at it even if you're on the green. So I thought that was interesting because most guys are not going to say those things. They're going to say, I love this place, firm and fast. It can withstand the test of time. This old lady's been around for however many years. She's going to be here into the future. And Matty Fitz is like, I don't think so.
Yeah, I mean, I disagree with that just because, and I love Matty Fitz, but like the course is what it is. The pins are where they are, and you just have to like adjust to that. Like, I don't know how that's not like keeping up with the modern game. Like, actually, it's bringing your game back into another era of the game where you can't hit your shots the way you usually hit them, and that's why they're rolling off, and that's why the bounces are happening to you. Like, you have to adjust, and that's why the guys who adjust win. So, I mean, like he tried to go in there with the same swing he has at Augusta. It's just not going to happen. Yeah, I thought it held up perfectly fine. The numbers fine. Didn't Tiger go 20 under in like 2000? Didn't they say that?
I think he was 19 under. I think he was 19 under.
So it's like, all right, 22 years have changed from that. The game has changed tremendously with all the distance and all this stuff, and we still got the same numbers. So I mean, come on.
Yeah, I guess I would say I agree with both in that. And not even agree. I like that Matty Fitz said it because clearly it's taboo not to say anything negative about the old course. So I like that he just was, instead of being calculated, like, what am I supposed to say here because I've got fucking the RNA overlooking me and this. He was just like, I'm not a fan. And he just kind of went off on why he's fucking pissed about the golf course. I like that, even though I do think that those aren't the right answers or takes. It kind of comes out like he's been known to, and we love Fitz, we'll say this to his face if he comes to the show, he's been known to bitch a little bit, like he bitched about when Bryson got all beefed up and got like too jazzed up. He's been known to throw a couple, little chirps when he gets agitated or frustrated about stuff. So I have no problem with him doing it, even though I do think like he's going to get some negative pushback to that. And I don't 100% agree for all the reasons that you guys just said, which is like the pins are the pins. Like Rory McIlroy and Cam Smith and the guys that were playing the best golf, Cam Young, who we haven't even talked about yet, we got to talk about him, who, like, they clearly had the best performances. Scotty Scheffler was up there. He's had the best year. So, like, it's same when people try to bitch about Chambers Bay or, these courses where it's like the greens are crap. It's, like, such a fluke. It's like, well, no, it isn't because the best players at Chambers Bay, Jordan Spieth and Dustin Johnson were the guys that there at the end. Rory McIlroy almost won there. Same deal here. You can bitch like, oh, it's Mickey Mouse pins they have to come up with, so I'm not a fan of the course. Well, guess what? The best players, it wasn't some fluke, like people got lucky to win the tournament. Clearly, the guys that played the best were there down the stretch. So it just kind of hurts your argument, I think.
Agreed.
Owens Mixers. We got to talk about them real quick. I had a couple Owens Mixers this weekend down at the Lake Norfolk in Arkansas with a little family weekend. Owens Craft Mixers gives anybody, and I mean anybody, even us, the ability to make a high-quality cocktail right at home. It's perfect for people like us. We don't have a clue how to make cocktails from scratch. That's true. I've always been impressed when somebody can just make a cocktail. I think it's sophisticated. It shows that you've got some experience, some life experience. Well, now you can show that to people by pouring in your favorite liquor and then just adding Owens, and you're good to go. It's that easy. They got a variety of mixers that pair with any spirit, including the Barstool Transfusion. Our cocktail, we love it. We've been talking about it for 5 years on this show. We decided to make our own mix. It's delicious. It's in a bunch of golf courses and bars and stadiums around the country. So when you go there, ask for the Barstool Transfusion. Go to owensmixers.com. Check the store locator to find a store that has Owens near you. If you don't feel like getting off the couch, no shame. You just order on Amazon or get it delivered in less than 30 minutes on GoPuff. That's owensmixers.com. And remember, just grab your favorite liquor, whatever it might be. It could be a little vodka, a little tequila, whatever it might be. Just add Owens and you got yourself an excellent cocktail. It's owensmixers.com. Go find the store locator. Golf course, final thoughts on the golf course. I do not think it's obsolete. I think it stands up. I think that if you were to get out there some wind, it would have just been a lot different. They got no wind. They never get no wind there. They got zero wind. So that's just going to make the place play a lot easier. It was fun to watching the balls. Like, it was riveting when the guy would hit a tee shot and stare at it, and then they would cut from the player view to the ball view, and it would land in the fairway. But it was riveting to watch. Like, you literally had no idea where it was going to end up. You didn't know if it was going to end up in the fescue, in a bunker, if it was going to catch a little knob and roll 50 more yards, if it was going to end up on a green. Like, you had fucking no clue. Sometimes they almost hit other people. Like, it was Jordan Spieth who almost like holed out from the tee while John Rahm was trying to finish up his putt. And like, that is just awesome. You never get that. So the fact that it was, usually it's pretty simple. The ball lands once and it either hits the fairway or the rough in American golf and it's done. There, it was like the minute that they cut to the ball in the sky, you were like, you leaned forward in your chair and you're like, okay, baby, let's see where this fucking thing goes. So I thought that part was really awesome, and St. Andrews is always going to deliver that. So, they'll keep coming here for another 100 years at least, forever probably, and I think they should.
Yeah, and Bryson, the guy who everybody thought was like just going to, I think he thought probably that he was going to change everything and win every tournament. It worked at Wingfoot, but even he said, he's like, you can't bomb and gouge out here. That's just not the way that it is. Like, the shots are so different. The ball can, like you're saying, ricochet and go in all sorts of different directions that you have to play it. Like, you have to dial back sometimes. And Bryson doesn't want to do that. Of all the golfers in the world, he doesn't want to do it, and he had to do it. So that shows at least a little bit of resilience from the old course. Yeah, and Rory on 6 was a great example. Like, he hit it up there so far that he had to putt it from 56 yards and couldn't get anywhere near the hole. Like, that's awesome. That's just completely unique. So, love the golf course. I want to talk about the whether it's the R&A, NBC, the Open Championship, St. Andrews, whoever it is making the call. They just refused to show live golfers, basically, which for the entire week, which I thought was hilarious. You didn't see Phil Mickelson once. I mean, the guy he shot his first round, he was under par, and they showed every shot of Tiger's, which is understandable. Tiger's like 1,000 over, and then you looked and Phil was like 100. He ended up playing like shit on Friday, but they just never showed Phil the whole time. He didn't get requested to do an interview. They never showed him, and it was like he just wasn't even there. And then they cut to him, I think, on 18 for like half a second, and it was just gone. And that was amazing. And they did the same thing basically. They didn't show DJ much early on. They ended up having to show him later because he was so much in the mix. But they just weren't showing live golfers as much as they possibly could avoid it. It was hilarious.
That for sure was like, that was a memo sent out. Like, let's just try and put them in their place. And like, we're going to give them a little bit of tough love this week. How was Phil's reception by the people?
I don't know.
Like, did he get a round of applause?
I don't know. They didn't report on it. They just acted like he wasn't there.
Nobody saw him.
We saw a little bit of it on that like Monday or Tuesday we were there, and people were just like yapping it up with him a little bit, asking for autographs and stuff. I was just wondering if he got like the full on 18th hole, everyone standing up and clapping for him. I didn't see anything on that.
I
honestly don't know. Okay.
Yeah, but I think I did see somebody tweet. I can't remember who it was that like they were saying that like only one guy got out of Phil and Tiger got like the send off on the bridge. Like people, Rory tipping the cap, everybody standing up. I don't think Phil got that or anything close to it.
Poulter
I
got
saw,
booed, right?
Yeah, he
Oh,
got
did he?
booed on the first tee and then duck hooked an iron and almost went out of bounds. I mean, it got hit the rough
Oh,
patch
my,
by
I
the
didn't
fence
see
on
that.
18. Yeah, he got booed on the first tee, dude. And then
That doesn't necessarily have to be live related, though. You know, he's just the worst. So, but it probably was.
I think it might be. My guess is it's got to be a combination of Live and Ryder Cup with him because they love him for the Ryder Cup so much. And by going to Live, I think he's kind of saying I'm not going to be a Ryder Cup captain. And I think they're UK. They love the Ryder Cup, so they might have been booing him there. I
True.
couldn't really figure that out either because
That
they
could
love
be
him
it.
over there. They fucking
do.
love him.
Yeah,
Right.
that's probably it.
And they just got pounded, and like they're losing their team, and like no one, they're like the whole UK team is essentially saying like we don't care about this because we're going to fucking Live. Like they just don't care about the thing that the fans care about the most.
I don't think we talked about this on the last show, but it's going back to Tiger's pre-tournament press conference, and he was really heavy on he doesn't understand live golfers. Obviously, he's just like, I want to beat everybody all the time. I want my trophy room to be packed with trophies that actually mean something. But he was really heavy on world golf ranking points. Like he talked about it so much during the pre-tournament press conference that it almost felt like he knew something that other people don't know. Because his was largely based on, at a certain point, if these guys don't get those points, then they're not going to be able to compete at the majors. Now, that's obviously been a point of conversation around this whole thing, but nobody really knows. But he hinged his entire thing being like, I don't understand this because at some point it seems, or it's at least possible, that these guys aren't going to be able to compete in the majors. I found that to be really interesting.
Yeah, and he even said like, imagine not being able to play at Augusta. And at that
Right.
point, it was like, whoa, like what does he know there too? You know what I mean?
Right. It's just like, because if anyone else had said those things, they'd be like, well, we don't know the answers to that yet. Nobody knows what it's going to be like. He said it so many times that it felt like he knows where the governing bodies are leaning on it. That's what it
Tiger
felt like to
is
me.
the governing body. You don't think every decision that like Jay Monahan like makes, you don't think he gives a text message or a call to Tiger Woods before it?
But the
Tiger
majors
Woods
and
is
the world golf ranking points are not up to Jay.
I know, but I think every major too. I think Seth Waz calling Tiger. I think they're all fucking calling Tiger. Augusta's calling Tiger. That every single guy is like, what does the best in all of golf history think about this before we make a decision?
The Opens didn't care,
No,
but that
sure.
was this year, I guess.
Yeah.
It was,
Or
Yeah.
maybe they asked him and he was like, let him play.
Do you think those guys, like when they hear Tiger's comments, do you think those hit differently than any other comments?
Dude, he runs the world. Tiger Woods runs the world. If we don't think that he's making these decisions with them, you're insane.
You're talking about the golfers who jump, though.
Yeah.
Big time.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I thought you meant like the leagues. Gotcha.
No,
It has
yeah, I
to,
know the
but-
leagues do. I know the leagues do. I agree with you there. But I'm wondering, like, if you're fucking Brooks
Oh,
Koepka,
yeah.
or you're DJ, or you're Phil, and you, like, come across on Twitter, you see somebody quotes of Tiger Woods basically saying, like, he doesn't respect you because you went to live and how pathetic it is. Do you think that hits more? I mean, not more. I know it hits more so than others, but do you think they care about that, or do you think they are just like, whatever?
I mean, like if they had, like, I'm sure behind closed doors, it's like they're just like, all right, Tiger, like you're really gonna like dog on us for bad decisions or something like that. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. At some point, they're like his like peers. They're probably like, whatever. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Phil Mickelson like looks at Tiger like his competitor and his peer. I don't know that they look at him exactly like we do. And we've talked about guys like that. There's certain guys that look at him just as like another golfer out there, and there's like he's just a guy that we have to play against. I don't know that it really changes. Like I don't think he's taking Dustin Johnson back and like being like, you made a bad decision. DJ's like, oh, sorry, Tiger, I'm coming back. I just think that, yeah.
Yeah, I wonder how they see it. I mean, we'll never know. They'll never answer that question,
No.
honestly. But, yeah, Tiger. It is funny. Tiger just his brain. He literally said he's like, I don't understand why they're doing that because he just wants.
The most analytical guy ever.
Right. He wants the hardest competition in the world. He wants to take it head on and beat everybody. And seeing guys go play 54-hole tournaments with shit watered down fields, he just doesn't get that. His brain doesn't understand that, which I find to be very funny and very Tiger.
Wow. For me, yeah.
Yeah, me too.
I'll,
The new apartment Wi-Fi needs to get fixed.
maybe you just got to iron out the kinks, get some cobwebs in there. I'll say the Tiger too. I like that he just could not comprehend the 54 holes thing. He was just like, That's not golf. Like 54 holes is not golf. I don't understand. Like a golf tournament is 72 holes. How could you claim that you are even a competitive golfer? Like you have to play 72 holes. He just couldn't. He like couldn't get over the stuff that people have kind of glossed over. Of like, oh yeah, they do shotgun starts and they play a few times a year and like they play 54 holes. Everyone's like, oh, it's kind of different. And Tiger was just like, no, they're not even fucking playing a golf tournament over there. Like, what are they doing? So he was just ragging on guys for that. So yeah, I thought in his presser he did almost come off more like, oh, Trent's back. Hey, Trent.
I'm back. Sorry, my internet fucked up.
No, it's okay. You're back. You sound good now.
It's amazing. So I'm in this new apartment, and this is where I'm sure you guys are talking about something else now. But I'm in this new apartment,
really.
and I watch. I'm a streamer. I'm a cord cutter, so I watch all of my TV through streaming services, which I need internet for, and it's perfect. I'm watching Cam Smith right now. He's sitting next to the claret jug, and it's not affected by the internet through my computer, it would seem, because whenever we do this podcast or when we have done it at my new apartment, like every 30 minutes or so, my internet just cuts out completely and I have to re-enter the Zoom, but the TV never cuts out. So I don't understand what that is. I feel old as fuck even saying those things.
You should.
That is weird.
I went
TV
through a whole
works.
thing. I went through a fucking scavenger hunt to fix my like TV and internet the other day. It was my first like owning a house, trying to figure out how to like get the Wi-Fi and the TV to work, and it was fucking infuriating.
You just unplug it, and plug it back in. Is that
I was
what you did?
unplugging everything. I have Verizon. I've got huge routers. I got one upstairs, one in the basement. They both connect to each other. All the TVs are actually like wireless to the routers. It's insane how much like Wi-Fi has to be needed. And I fucking am pumping Wi-Fi in here like you wouldn't believe. I'm like 1,000 megs up and down. So when this thing cut out, I'm like, what happened? I'm sitting there looking at all the systems, being like, I was laying down in bed, and then it all just went off. So what changed? Nothing got unplugged. Like nothing, like what happened? And I couldn't figure it out. And then I fucking remembered this one little plug-in in this basement boiler room thing, like where all like the electrical box is and all that. I remember when the guy came in, he put this one plug-in that's almost like the master plug, and I didn't know where that was. And for some reason, like I must have had like a power surge, and like it was still plugged in, and it just was off. Like there was no power going to it. So I hit that little like, you know, the red and the black button. I hit it, and then all of a sudden just all the Wi-Fi came on. And that was after an hour of trying to figure it out. I was messaging Verizon being like, I don't know. I'm looking at it. I'm looking at it all. It should work. They're like, we don't know either. I'm like, well, what the fuck? I was like walking around, angrily walking.
They're kind of like the airlines too. Once they have you, they got you. There's really nothing you can do.
Oh man,
They
dude,
own
it's
your
like,
ass.
dude, TV companies, man, it's like the fucking South Park clip where he's just like, oh, like your service is out, and he's like starts rubbing his nipples. He's like, oh man, why don't you call one of the other providers? And even though like you can't get another provider.
Right in that area.
Time Warner
Such a
Cable,
good
I think
step.
it was. It's just like, oh, well, you know, maybe we could send someone over there in like a week or so. Does that not work for you? Oh, fuck off.
Right.
Tiger walking up 18.
Yeah.
Amazing moment. Truly amazing.
And that's one of those moments you're gonna wish you were there. And if you wanted to be there, you could use Gametime, the Gametime app, to get there. Probably the best. The best. It's actually the exclusive ticketing partner of Barstool Sports, but it is the best ticketing app that makes it easier than ever to score last-minute deals on tickets to sports, concerts, and shows. They guarantee the lowest price. They crack the code on how to score deals on last-minute tickets. We've been using these guys all year long now, and it's been absolutely massive getting to events, basketball games, golf tournaments, whatever it might be. Gametime's got it. You can find MLB tickets for under $15 all in on Gametime. Yankees tickets as low as $14. Red Sox 14, Mets 13, Braves 14, Cubs 12. You name your team. Gametime has the hookup on deals for you to get to the ballpark. Purchase process incredibly quick, incredibly easy. They got a great interface. You just download that app, use it, get tickets, go to events, enjoy your life, have a lot more fun, get out and about. Best part, you get $20 off your first purchase. Download the Gametime app, go to the account tab to create a login, redeem code Fore for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Download Gametime, last-minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed. We love Gametime, don't we, fellas?
Love Gametime. I saw the Short Porch Boys were at the Yankees Red Sox game last night thanks to Gametime. We've been traveling so much we haven't got to attend a sporting event or a concert in a long time. I'm looking forward to August. The dog days of summer, the Yankees are rolling. They're in first place. I can't wait to get to a Yankees game. I'm going to be on Gametime app. I cannot wait to just sit there in a ballpark, eat a fucking hot dog, have popcorn, play my little game that I play where we do $1 bet for everyone that comes in the lineup. I'll talk about that again if we don't know that game. It's the best game to ever play when you're watching a baseball game. And I'm going
$12 bets.
Oh my God, dude. Everyone puts $1 into a hat. You get the first batter. I get the second batter. The next guy gets the third batter, and you go down the order. If he gets a single, you take $1 out of the hat and put it in your pocket. If he gets an out, you put an extra $1 in, and you just keep passing it.
Oh my God.
When someone hits a home run, you get all the money, and then everyone re-ups. We were at Fenway.
Triple $3 and double
triple.
Kind of thing?
Yep, double play, $2 in. It's the whole thing. Trent Daddy, we played with Trent Daddy. There was 3 home runs in the game. Red Sox Athletics. Trent Daddy had all 3 home runs.
That was awesome.
He was up like $95. We all owed $40. It was unbelievable. Never see anything like it. It's the best game ever. Just crazy. So Gametime app is so much fun to just be able to go on there last minute. That's the best feeling ever. Like, what do you want to do tonight? I don't know. Is there a game in town? Fucking bang. Let's go. Let's go right now. Let's get in the car. Get the kids. Let's go. We're going. Gametime.
Download the Gametime app. Use the code Fore. You get $20 off. Go check them out. Terms apply. Tiger Woods Friday. Very clear he's not going to make the cut. He's $1 billion over par. Comes up 18. Kind of in a ambiguous spot where he said no, he's not going to retire. He almost died last year, to the point last year where the whole PGA Tour wore red shirts and black pants on a Sunday to like honor Tiger Woods. Now he's back out there playing, played the Masters out of the clouds. It was like a week before. Nobody thought he was going to play. Plays the Masters, makes the cut. You're like, holy shit. The first round back, he shot 1 under 71, I think. You're like, oh my God. And then Southern Hills plays well enough to make the cut, struggles on Saturday, withdraws, doesn't show up to the U.S. Open, puts all of his eggs in this basket. So you're kind of like, where are we at with this guy? There were whispers that he was going to announce his retirement, which would honestly kind of make sense if it was like, okay, he went through all this bullshit. He needs to do like 17 ice baths a day. He's going to play the old course at St. Andrews, and that's how he's going to go out. Nobody would blame him for it. That's fine. Then he just laughed those off and was like, no, I'm not retiring. I'm not going to play a full schedule again, but I'm not retiring. I'm playing golf. I think I can win. Plays terrible, like we talked about, hit it in the burn. The whole week was over at that point. So now here he comes up 18. Those that have clearly done the ceremonial final walk at the old course, Jack Nicklaus, Arnold Palmer, they stop on the Swilken Bridge in their final round. They take off the cap. They put their knee and their leg up on the Swilken, much like we did in our cool little kilts. And they wave their fucking cap and everybody takes photos. And that's kind of their iconic send-off at the old course. So Tiger hits his tee shot, smokes one down the left center, and then he fucking sprinted across the Swilken Bridge. I mean, he might have set a world record for how fast he got from the beginning to the end of that puppy, took his cap off, and then he motored right across it, his leg. I've never seen it look better than it looked right there. Motored right across that fucking bridge and then walked up 18. Enormous applause. Everybody's standing up on the left, on the right, behind, to the point where our boy, Mr. Woods, got emotional. I never seen him really like that, where he was wiping his eyes, crying, coming up 18. I don't know about you guys. I got pretty fucking emotional watching that. Of like, holy shit, this journey that we've been on with this guy, how much he's been through from injury after injury, the whole history with his father and his parents, and we've all read about that, and how much pressure he put on himself, then delivered. Then he became the most famous person in the world, billionaire, scandal, media going after him, almost dies. The fact that he won the 2019 Masters, all of that culminates with this guy walking up the 18th hole at the old course on Friday. And when you see him start crying, it's like, holy shit. One of the coolest things I think I've ever witnessed. And on top of that, they had Rory McIlroy's group going off, coming the other direction at the same time. So there's all kinds of imagery going on. It was just an amazing moment.
I don't think we're ever going to get a storybook ending with a guy like Tiger. Like, he's never just going to walk away. Like, if he'd walked away after this tournament, like you said, everybody would have understood. Like, he's been through a lot. He's been through the most. You're just going to, wave your cap and then go off into the sunset. Guys like Tiger just don't do that. Like, look at Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan, it was just like, boy, it's just like he keeps putting that uniform on no matter how painful it is. Brett Favre, not to put Brett Favre in that category, but it just seems like guys who have this ability and who have made it to the top and played well enough and played as good as you can play a sport, they never just tip their cap and walk away. Like when this thing comes back to St. Andrews in 7 years, is it? Like I think he's probably going to be there and he's going to be playing. And at that point, it might be like, boy, we're really playing out the string with Tiger here and he just doesn't have it. He's not going to make the cut. And boy, I wish he had walked away at this point. But with a guy like him, you see it in sports all the time. The greats just kind of keep going. And they just keep going to the point where people want them to go away. I'm not saying that Tiger's at that point, but I don't think he's ever just going to be like, that's enough for me. If there was ever a point for him to do that, it would have been this St. Andrews. The leg is bad. He's been through a lot in the last year. Now would have been the time for him to be like, it's just all too much for me now. But he still thinks somewhere in there, and I hope that he's right, that he can compete at the highest level and win a few more majors and, pass Jack and do all this stuff that everybody wants him to do. He's just never going to completely walk away. Now, I know this is a weird time to be talking about this while we're talking about him walking up 18 and being emotional. I thought that was great. I thought it was beautiful. I thought the Rory hat tip it's just like that felt like a sports movie to me. But I just don't think the perfect bow on it at the end of a career, of a great all-time career, we're just not going to get that. Tiger's going to keep playing because Tiger thinks he can win.
Again, the odds are in your favor, Trent. I think that it's hard to have like a really amazing send-off. Like, I mean, when Derek Jeter did it in his final game, hits a walk-off single at Yankee Stadium. Like, are you fucking kidding me? That's just Derek Jeter. That's also like a movie. Like, it's a 1 in a billion that the guy who's retiring, he had a retirement tour, shows up to the last game at Yankee Stadium, hits a walk-off, and the fucking place goes crazy, and that's it. And he walks off into the sunset, and that's it. No more. It's really hard. Like, if the moment would be if Tiger won at St. Andrews, holds the claret jug and just goes, I'm done. And we're all like, all right, what a fucking moment. Call the fucking movie producers.
But then we'd be like, he just won a major. How come he's retiring? Like,
but that's golf.
He's good enough to keep winning.
So that was going to be my next point, is that's golf. You don't retire golf. Danny Rappaport tweeted that out. Like, you always like have a little bit left in you. You can show up. Some of the tournaments are invitationals. You can still show up as long as you want. This guy's fucking 90 years old playing in the Masters. It's like, you could just keep doing it. What's that fucking guy's name that just keeps showing up to Augusta?
Sandy Lyle.
Fucking Sandy Lyle's gonna keep playing until he's in a fucking
with the suspenders. He's got the suspenders.
Yeah, so it's like that's what golf is. So I don't know that you're ever gonna get that moment where he's already done the thing that is kind of the retirement, where he's like, I'm not gonna play a full PGA Tour schedule anymore. I'm just gonna show up to the ones that I can. He's already done that. He did that 2 years ago.
Though, if he had more majors than Jack, I think he could do a send off. I think
send-offs are just weird in golf. Like, it's just like, I don't know.
It
Like, even when he's 55, he can still like show up to Augusta. Like, are you retired then? I don't like.
No, I'm not saying it should have been, but a perfect one would have been the 2019 Masters. Obviously, he wouldn't have passed Jack, but like if he had just done it then, and I agree. Then the other side of it is he just won the Masters. Why would he? He can clearly still play, and this was pre-Cliff time, so it's like I don't know. I don't know.
It's just not a team sport, so you don't have to announce anything ever. Like, you don't have to be like, "Hey, I'm not coming to that game tomorrow." So like, and the reason is because I retired. They're gonna be like, they're gonna want an answer like, why you're not showing up. Like, hey, we have a game tomorrow against like the Mariners. Are you showing up? Like, no, I'm retired. Like, Tiger can just be like, I'm done for the next like 5 years. Now I'll just like be back. I don't know. Like, he could just do whatever the fuck he wants.
After Jack played his last Masters, PGA, the 4 majors, was it? I don't remember. Was it like, I'm not playing this again, or did he just not end up playing those again?
No, Jack actually did sort of what we're talking about. Jack, I believe, said he was going to retire at they kind of retire from each tournament is the way that I understand it, right? So they'll be like, Jack will be like, this is my final Open Championship. I'm going to play it at Sanders. He did that in 2000. And then there was a story, I actually heard it, but there was a story where he was at like a dinner with the RNA or something, and somebody was like, you're going to play in 2005 again? And he was kind of like, you think I should? And they were like, yeah. And then he did it again. So he kind of like said he was going to be his last in 2000. It wasn't. He played again in 2005, I believe, and had a send-off there. So like he kind of did the same thing where he kept playing. Now, clearly at that point, he didn't think he could win. But I bet part of them thought, like, I bet 1% of them thought, like, maybe I get a little bit hot here. Like, you never know. I'm Jack Nicklaus. I get the right side of the draw and I make a couple putts. Like I could win. That's what happened. Tom Watson was 59 fucking years old. He almost won the goddamn thing. So really, I mean, if at this point, if you physically can hit the golf ball, and then why would you? I guess at this point, if you're 59 or younger, you gotta think you have a chance because Tom Watson almost won the fucking thing. So it's almost like you need to be 60 or older to justify retiring. So I think you're right. Like golf is a sport where I think he's just gonna keep going. It's just gonna kind of fizzle, and he'll be around, and it'll be kind of like he'll just be there. I don't know.
I guess the only reason that would make him retire though is like those other guys. Like Tiger's close to being like physically unable to play, which is sad to say, but like that is the true like retirement of like, yeah, I need to rest my body. Like Tom Watson, not Jack, not like, but Tiger, that would be the retirement card. Is like I'm physically unable.
But we could have said that after the car crash. Been like, dude, if you don't want to do this anymore, it's fine. Yeah, they almost cut your fucking leg off. You almost died, dude. And he was like, I'm gonna play the Masters this year, and we're like, what is going on? So he's just.
I guess he's done that. You know what I mean? Like he did the rehab. He's back, and like all his comments are like he is not trying to strengthen the leg. He's trying to get like the last like million steps out of it. You know what I mean? Like I don't. That's where I'm like.
I think he's trying to strengthen it. No.
I don't know. I haven't heard that type of language out of him. It's like I hope that like it holds up. It's kind of like it's not. It doesn't feel progressive. It feels like we're just trying to sustain the damage and just like hold on. But I mean that's just kind of like the gut that I feel. It's all who feels what right now about Tiger Woods in his game.
I think his latest was that he said it could get a little bit stronger. Like I think in the Masters he said it could definitely get stronger, and then I think the latest at the Open was like it could get a little bit better, but like for the most part, we're trying to like keep the strength up, and he's got to do a million ice baths and all that. I think like one of the key points for me to consider when it comes to Tiger and playing is I don't think he has anything else to do. Like he's a billionaire. He spends the time with his kids, but like his kids are in school and they're busy with their own lives. Kids are. So like at some point, if he thinks that there's a chance he could pick up a golf club and hit good enough golf shots to get himself in golf tournaments and contend, then what the fuck else is he going to do? That's what he's known his entire life. It's like, you hear all the time about people's, parents or whoever, people, who retire, they move to the place they wanted to retire to, and then they get a job as like a Walmart greeter because they don't know what the fuck else to do. They're bored all the time. So it's like Tiger Woods is 46. Yeah, he's hurt. Yeah, it sucks. Yeah, it's hard. But he also thrives on that. Like when you read Hank Haney's book, he talks all the time about like Tiger would constantly change his swing, not because like he thought that it wasn't the right way to go. It's because like maintenance was the enemy of improvement to him. So it's like he just is constantly obsessed with working on shit, and I think that he likes the challenge. And so I just think it's more in his DNA to grind and try to get out there and keep playing than it is to be like, what's he gonna sit in his fucking couch and like crush like beers? Like I just don't think that's what Tiger Woods does. Like I
guess then the question becomes. Yeah. It becomes like a legacy question. Like you were hot there at the beginning for the first couple of decades, and then the end was just laborious for you and for everyone watching. Like, is that how you want to go out? Do you want to go out as showing up to the Masters every year and just like not making the cut? Or it's like, it becomes a question of like, does that, I don't think it does. And it most certainly almost doesn't, but like tarnish the career where you're just like, this guy, now he's 65 and he's still trying to show up and still trying to make these cuts, when it's like, maybe you should try to find another hobby and just like try to figure something else out. Maybe Tiger becomes a Walmart greeter. Like, wow, that'd be the most popular Walmart in the country if you did that. But like at a certain point, he shows up to these tournaments, and we're not at that point yet. I don't think, by the way, he's in his mid 40s, his body is 97, but like at a certain point, he can just keep playing, but at what point does that become like, boy, I sort of wish Tiger would stop showing up to these tournaments? I don't want to say it.
Just a fine line. No, everybody's thinking of it. You don't want like, it's like his lower half didn't look great when we were walking with him this week. It wasn't like spry. He played a lot of practice rounds with JT. JT's lower half looked, way better than Tiger's as they moved around that course.
Such a great lower half, yeah.
I mean,
He's got an
it was
okay
different.
lower half. His lower
Fucking,
half's fine.
it's a youthful lower half.
When he's standing next to Tiger, and it's different. Those bodies bend different. They look different. There's just energy in JT's lower half.
That I think is what would probably knock Tiger out, like for good. If the doctors told him, like, if you keep walking these golf courses, it's going to affect your actual day-to-day life, and that would maybe make him be like, all right, I can't keep doing this.
One of the things that you can tell he was feeling a little bit better this week physically is the way he was reading putts. He was actually like crouching all the way down, I noticed, as opposed to when he was at the PGA. He was doing like that one leg up in the air and like trying to read the putts. I remember even when we were watching it in streams when we were in Arizona, like being like, Tiger like has never read a putt like that in his life, and it's probably affecting the way he's reading the greens. Like he like usually gets down, he does the thing where he like massages his hands together, his fingers. He's got the little fingertip roll going. He does the Tiger vision, the whole thing. He wasn't able to do that ever. And I noticed him doing it a lot more this week. So that was good that he's able to
He would do
get
this
down.
sometimes when he would he'd be down on the boat and he would like look like this at the that was the
Exactly.
best.
Tiger
He
vision's
just-
amazing.
He would just sit there in that little Tiger prowl, like lightly holding onto his putter, just surveying everything, and you're like, oh man, that guy's taking
is
in more
going in.
information than fucking Iron Man right
And he was doing that even though he was 9 over. He was doing that. So like, all right, he's making some improvements. I bet like he would even talk about that. If someone asked him, he'd be like, yeah, I was actually happy to be able to like get down and read the greens this week. Like that's like something that was like a goal almost for him. You know what I mean? I think he's going to keep reaching those physical goals. And at some point it'll just be like, all right, this is what we have. We've gotten to the most recovered that we can get. This is how we have to live the rest of our lives. And let's just try and play some golf. He's still recovering.
All right, yeah. Will he be able to win tournaments that way?
Trent Daddy, anti-Tiger guy today.
I'm just saying.
I know.
It was a fucking build up to this tournament, and he just didn't. It just didn't work out.
It
The
was
weather
shockingly
was great.
bad performance. Shockingly bad
Yeah,
performance.
I'm just.
You know what?
I know we're usually not objective Tiger guys, but I figure let's inject some objectivity into it because it's like, fuck, man.
It was bad.
It's getting to that point.
But also,
I
like,
think he-
fucking Colin Morikawa missed the cut. So it's like golf's really hard. I don't know that it was
Definitely.
like Phil Mickelson missed the cut. Like these guys are fucking amazing golfers that just missed the cut. It is what it is. Like he's not always going to show up. I'm not putting Tiger in a home yet.
I'm not either.
What he might need for his recovery efforts is a little Biolyte. You know,
Biolyte's unbelievable.
It is.
it's incredible.
We had Biolyte at the mini golf, the mini putt tournament when we were out in the Hamptons, which is coming out I think in a month. And it was so hot there that we were legitimately like on the verge of dying. Everyone was like
bad.
super dehydrated. And all of a sudden, Biolyte just shows up, and on every hole, you had to see how many Biolyte bottles were on the floor. Everyone was just crushing Biolyte, and it just instantly refreshes you and makes you feel like what's the stat? It's like 7 water bottles in one.
Something like that. Yeah.
That's a lot. That's what you need when you're in that situation. It's Biolyte, the IV in a bottle. Biolyte is a physician-formulated recovery drink made with all natural ingredients that will help you feel better fast. The IV in a bottle contains the same amount of electrolytes as an IV bag. You'd have to drink 6.5 sports drinks just to equal one Biolyte.
Yeah, it's insane. And it tastes good too.
Ooh, it's only 45 calories. It's delicious. It only has 45 calories and contains a third of the amount of sugar. Also comes in 4 flavors: citrus, berry, tropical, and melon. Put a few bottles in your cooler next time you have a little tea time, and you won't suffer the next day. Go to drinkbiolyte.com/barstool. Use the code FOREPLAY for 10% off your first Amazon order. Cannot recommend this stuff enough. You're probably on the course. You're going to have, beers. You might have a few cocktails, maybe a transfusion or two. You might be hurting the next day. This will make everything much, much, much better. It's the key to recovery. It's IV in a bottle. Go to drinkbiolyte.com with a Y, drinkbiolyte.com/barstool. Use the code FOREPLAY for 10% off your first Amazon order. We got to talk about Cameron Young. Cam Young, I believe this is his first Open Championship. Is that right? I think it was his first Open Championship. He had a really good finish at the PGA, played really well. Finished solo second. kind of amazing. I mean, this guy was amazing how well he performed. And he went out there and had every reason not to finish solo second today. He had every reason not to be in the golf tournament. He 3-putted the first hole. Everybody's got good birdie looks at the first hole. It's like an iron and a little flip wedge in. And he 3-jacks the first hole. He hit his ball into the gorse bushes on 9 and made bogey. And still, with those just like unacceptable mistakes, I imagine in his head, he finished one back with an insane eagle after driving it up near the pin. He did exactly what Rory McIlroy needed to do on the 72nd hole of the tournament, playing in the second to last group with the guy that's leading. He drives it up to like 10 feet, cans the putt, ends up 19 under. Actually beat Rory McIlroy, finished 19 under, and finished solo second at the Open Championship. So Cam Young, with the baseball sponsorship on his sleeve and everything, amazing week from that fucking young man.
Why is it so weird? Because I agree that is that what you're saying? Like the MLB sponsorship is interesting to me.
No, I was gonna say tiny little head, ton of facial hair, kind of a weird. Like I don't know what it is when I look at him. Something's off. Really like the guy. I think he's got. I like the cut of his jib.
Sleepy Hollow guy too. So he's.
He hates when you say he's from like New York City. That's the one thing I do know about him.
Really?
They were like, "Oh, you're just a kid from the streets." At one point, they interviewed him. They're like, "Just a kid from the New York City streets, making it to the Augusta, like walking the streets of New York City to walking the fairways of St. Andrews." He's like, he like snapped kind of where he's like, "Well, like it really wasn't the streets. I was like living in a country club. My dad's a country club, like a pro at Sleepy Hollow, and like kind of lived in like a mansion in the suburbs. So it's like."
At least he's honest.
Yeah, he's like, I took like a private bus to school and back, and then like just practiced every day. Like I don't know. Like,
he's also
it's just
he's
like
also, yeah.
He's like,
that answer sound awful. If that was the answer,
it wasn't with that tone. He's super
terrible.
nice. It wasn't with that
Okay.
tone, but like it's more of like a you're an idiot interviewer. Like the interviewer is like wrong. Like whoever it was like, oh, you were like sure, his high school was in New York City, but like. He lived in fucking Westchester, like it's like the best place to live ever.
Yeah, you're
like
trying to like drive this narrative that
I'm
I'm like a poor kid from the streets, and instead I'm just I'm not.
You're like downplaying everything my dad did. His dad's like a pro at like Sleepy Hollow. It's like an unbelievable life to like have your kids grow up, and they're like, you were like barely making it to school on time, like playing in the fucking playing in the streets and the fountains. It's like, no, I wasn't, dude.
He's
Fucking
also got
ripping
the
baby
type of
cuts at Sleepy Hollow.
He's also got the type of swing that makes me understand timing in a golf swing even less.
Oh, dude, he stops at the top. It's crazy.
Like really stops, like more than Hideki stops.
Yeah.
It's a full like.
And he launches the golf ball. He is fucking missiles, man.
I mean,
I was thinking
it
about
reminds
going
me
out
of a
and playing,
baseball player.
I was thinking about going out and playing like Twilight today or something. I just want to swing because I was looking at him. It's so funny you said that. Like I want to go on a range and just try and do that. Like just stop as long as I possibly can. Just let the club come down and just launch drives. As like literally just get to the top like it's a roller coaster, and then like drop the club and just swing up on the ball as hard as I possibly can.
But what is your lower half doing during the pause?
It's like it's cocked. I think it's like fucking.
Yeah, it's pausing too. I think it's just like syncing up.
It's cocked.
I think
Ready
if you
to
get
rock.
it to the top and hold it,
It's like a fucking roller coaster. Like, and then it's like boom.
I feel like everything I've heard about golf in my life tells you to not do that.
I know, like fluid motion, smooth.
Right. And he's just like, I'm
Get
gonna
the hips
fucking
going.
I'm gonna load this thing up and just pound the ball. And he pounds the ball.
I mean, yeah, it's an amazing swing. It's really cool. He's
Daddy, I see you were
grinding.
grinding. I see you were grinding on the range the other day. I saw a little Instagram post.
Oh, I have to post that video. Actually.
Love that.
What
Dude,
video?
I walked up to the range yesterday, and fucking Trent Daddy was just on the range grinding. I forgot to put it up. He was legitimately grinding with a full swing monitor behind him. He's got like fucking. He's got the alignment sticks going. The whole thing was unbelievable.
The alignment sticks out.
No, they
there?
were they're just to his left, but like the visual of every like the alignment sticks are in the air. He's right in the middle. He's got like tons of balls around him. There's a fucking launch monitor there. There's a towel there that he clearly was using for like wipe his face. Just fucking grinding.
Dude, I got a lot of people dependent on me. This breaking 90 thing is just like, because breaking 100 was a lot of fun and I enjoyed it and I'm enjoying breaking 90, but I made it happen. But breaking, it's a big jump and everybody knows that, but it's a big jump to go from breaking 100 to breaking. Oh yeah, there I am.
That's
out
iconic.
there.
Digging it, finding it in the dirt.
So
man.
I have to. I really honestly have to.
And then
So
he heard me.
I've been going to the range, and Frankie and I just happened to be there at the same time, which was weird. I was gonna text him and be like, "Do you want to go hit balls or whatever?" But I knew he had a wedding yesterday, and so I was like, "Oh, he's got to be busy all day." So I just went, and then I see Frankie Borelli coming down the hill when I was out there. But yeah, man, I'm really trying. I'm really trying to get this thing going. The last couple episodes of Breaking 90 haven't been the score that I wanted. So I was like, I can't just sit on my ass and do nothing. I got to figure this fucking thing out.
And we've got a teaser. We've got one coming up. And it's going to be a big episode of Breaking 90. I mean, it's it's hard to like preview Breaking 90 episodes because like it could just be the one. You know what I mean? Like you don't want to like you have to watch this one this week is what I'm saying. I don't know how to like. Yeah, I'm trying to think of like how we did it when Breaking 100 was out, where we like it's a really big video.
I don't remember.
But you just have to watch on Thursday. I think it's Thursday, right?
It'll be Thursday.
On Thursday. So yeah, that's a little plug.
No, we're working it out, man. I'm fucking trying.
Yeah.
My nephew was putting on his Spider-Man costume, which means he's ready to fight me. So I had to tell him to give him a couple.
Hell yeah.
Get ready to defend yourself.
It could have been any sort of attack could have come from any angle. You don't know at that point.
Robbie will go too. He'll lead with fire.
Yeah, he came over to me right before we started recording. He's like, "Uncle Sam, let's fight." And I was like, I gotta work for a couple hours and then we'll fight. So then he just came in. He's like, "Are we gonna fight or what are we doing here?" So
when's that fight happening? Oh, there he is. He's like, when's that fight happening? We talked all about that fight. He just punched him.
Couple minutes, we're gonna fight. Put your costume on. Max Homa. Shout out to Max Homa, who was there with Tiger the entire time. I can't wait to talk to him about that. I was texting him a little bit, but I mean, he was literally part of that walk up 18. One of our guys. I know he was disappointed, devastated. He was so jacked up for this event. He's a big golf legacy and history guy. He's talked a lot about that with his incentives of staying with and supporting the PGA Tour. So for him to get to the old course, he played well at the Scottish Open. I know he was devastated that he didn't make the cut at the Open, yet for him to still be tweeting about how cool it was to be walking up with Tiger. Just pretty amazing that somebody that I think we consider to be a pretty normal dude that's like one of us was actually in the arena walking next to Tiger Woods throughout that entire thing. So just fucking cool that they put him together and that Max was there. Fitz was obviously with him too. I think Fitz kind of comes off like a guy that doesn't really care that much, to be honest with you. I think Fitz was probably just like
he was walking up 18 with Tiger, just cursing the golf course. Like, can you believe this fucking place?
Sucks.
No, yeah. Right. Max is like legitimately has a boner walking up 18, and Fitz is just looking at the ground like, this place is fucking 300 million years old. We shouldn't be playing golf tournaments here.
How many Opens ago was it when Shane Lowry won, where Fitzy was just ran off the golf course due to weather? He was sprinting off the thing.
That was just a couple years ago. Port Rush.
What was that, 19?
He was the champion golfer of the year for like 4 years.
Fitz cracks me up. Fitz is a funny motherfucker. He just doesn't give a shit, I think.
He really doesn't. I think that's what we're finding out more and more, that like he has opinions and he will say them publicly to reporters.
Big time. Oh, he's very opinionated.
Which I like.
Here's an interesting quote I just saw from Cam Smith. Brendan Porath tweeted this out. Cam Smith, did I say that name right? Porath?
I don't know. I've actually only ever seen it on Twitter, so I don't know.
I think it's Porath. Nice guy.
Cam Smith was asked about rumors linking him to Liv. Was fairly irritated by the question, saying he just won the British Open. He added, he lets his team handle those things, and he just tries to go out and win golf tournaments. And then Danny Rappaport replied, "Hey, team, decide my future." It's like, what does that even mean? Like, how are you not making that so they could just sign him to anything and he just shows up and just like plays? That's not true. If Liv gets Cam Smith, that's
an answer.
What do you think? Greg Norman is like fucking like, we're getting this guy now because he just won the British?
Yeah,
like, that would be.
I think Cam Smith's price just went up like 10x. I mean, he just won the Open Championship at the Old Course. I think he probably signs tonight. I think he's like, you guys, hey, put a number in front of me tonight. We'll put a number in front of my team tonight.
Man, talk about leverage. Like, if he's been in talks with them for the past couple of weeks and he's like, I'm just going to wait until after the British, like, you guys just like hold on, and then he wins, and he's like, that text message back to Greg Norman being like, add another 0 to that, and then we'll
might be
talk.
The bag of cash emoji. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
just drop the bag at my front door.
I will say all the reports that we've gotten about Cam Smith, just like people who have been around him, are that he's like a pretty simple guy in the way that he lives. Like, He just wins $3 million, at the Players, and then all he wants to do is fish. Like, I think he answered one question, like, what are you going to do with this huge sack of cash? And he's like, I was looking at some new reels online before I teed off today. So not to say that like that makes sense that his team handles everything, but he is a guy that just wants to win, make a ton of money, and then just kind of keep it moving. I wonder, I'm sure they're making a hard push at him now for LIV. They're making a hard push at all these guys, but all these guys who are winning these prestigious tournaments, their price goes up immediately, as it should.
For sure.
Riggs it looks
He's
like an
in fight.
Iron Man costume.
But it looked like there was a Mortal Kombat costume on the underneath.
Dude, Robbie went
Double
with
costume.
a ninja costume under his Spider-Man. Say hi to everybody, Rob.
He's gonna kick your ass,
Hi.
dude. Sorry, I don't mean to curse. I don't know if you can. Hey, Robbie.
Wait.
Why are
Don't
you,
fight me, Robbie.
Robbie, why are you going double costume? What's up with that move?
Because I want to be
More
strong.
skills.
You want to be strong? Okay, gotcha. It's good.
Extra armor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How'd you not know that one?
Look
man?
at
That was my bad. Yeah, those are my friends. That's Trent, Frankie,
No,
and Ben.
I want these plates to like come out. I want these to come out.
How are we gonna? Oh, they're gonna be like out of this costume. I got you. Okay.
It's like,
And-
yeah, I mean, obviously, like combining the
the
Ninja
tag
with the
in.
Power Rangers
Oh,
are stronger.
Oh, look at that. That
Right,
is
like if you're mutually just a ninja or Spider-Man,
Man.
you're least strong than if you put those two costumes on together. That makes a ton of sense to me.
100%.
That's like pretty like innovative. Like they should like I mix cereals. He mixes.
Do you think Kevin Feige's like, man, I should put a ninja costume under Iron Man?
I think so. I think you just start
Sure.
combining all the heroes.
Right.
Like
Just in a couple minutes, Riggs is going to get beat up here.
he's got a
like
sword.
Thor and Hulk.
It's called the Ultimate Blade.
Like Thor is strong, Hulk is strong, but like a Thor and Hulk combined would be even
Well,
stronger.
think about when Captain America picked up Thor's hammer. People were like, "Holy fucking shit, this is the
Exactly. Just
biggest
stronger.
deal ever."
Stronger. Robbie Fox, when we saw that in the movie theater, he stood up and cheered like he was at a baseball game.
All right,
Yeah.
Robbie, we're gonna fight in 5
And he
minutes.
also
okay,
cried.
Okay, just wait.
You're not going to get this anywhere else on any other golf podcast, which is what I
No.
like about it.
I just had to like dress up my opponent in his armor. He's gonna beat me up with it. It's crazy. This seems a pretty
Oh,
psychotic
shit.
move.
Trying to think about what else went on. Anything big that went on? Tiger, Rory, Cam Smith,
Rory's hole out and DJ and
Yeah.
Scotty.
and Scotty being there and the whole crowd
Go Roars.
erupting was a really cool moment.
God, it would have been even better if
We
he
had
won.
DJ.
Yeah, so
DJ
much
like
better.
topped his 3-wood on the 18th hole. I think yesterday it still went like 280.
Oh, Matty Fitz hit like a chunk hook on Thursday when he teed off with Tiger. That was very funny.
That was amazing.
And
And then
didn't Max say like that freed him up? Like just like how every amateur golfer that steps up to the first tee and your buddy like puts one OB, you're like, all right, I'm feeling real good now.
Yeah, that
Did he
is.
just hit you in the
Oh,
back?
yeah.
Or what was that noise?
He just smoked me and said, "You got to put this on."
He's just gonna fight. I mean, to be fair, you've been telling him 5 minutes, and that was 5 minutes ago. So I mean, he's
Yeah.
pretty.
So give him a real timeline, Riggs. I mean, God.
Yeah, and then Homa hit a stinger off one. That was pretty cool.
I'm just trying to go out and play some golf after watching that all morning.
Still early, too,
You
which
just
is
gotta
nice.
hit a golf ball.
Let's talk about SiriusXM.
gotta hit a
and
golf
then we
ball.
can go wrap this up and play golf. Listen to the SiriusXM app at home or anywhere you are. No car required. Stream it on your phone, online, or at home. Over 425 channels are on the SiriusXM app. Enjoy ad-free music channels for every genre and artist-dedicated channels. Catch live play-by-play of
You
games.
put the mask on the wrong way.
Aren't you supposed to put the mask on?
70s on 7. I love Pop 2K. I love 90s on 9. I love 80s on 8. All
They've
that.
got. I've been getting into the Beatles. They just have a strictly Beatles channel.
Oh, was that channel 54? I think maybe.
I
Something
think
like
they've
that,
got the
yeah.
Grateful Dead on 23 or 24 too. It's all good stuff.
SiriusXM changed the game, and they've just continued to just put out really, really good music content. And like their channels are always like innovative and awesome, and the mixes are great, and the DJs are great. Whoever picks the music for 70s and 7 is just the best collector of music of all time. Like the taste that they have is insane. Every song's a banger. I love SiriusXM.
They got PGA Tour Radio. Our guys are on there. Colt's on there. I think Michael
right.
Breed's on
Colt's
there.
on
He's got all kinds of channels. We love him. The Breeder, the Rooster. So go check out. Subscribe now. Get your first 3 months for free of the SiriusXM app. Visit SiriusXM.com/4playpod offer to sign up. Offer details apply. That is SiriusXM.com/4playpod offer to sign up. Offer details apply.
I've got a question that someone tweeted at us. It's kind of like a from the gallery. If you had one choice, Steph Curry to make a 3 or Cam Smith to sink a 5-foot putt, who are you choosing?
5 foot? It's got to be
Maybe. All right.
Cam Smith, yeah, it's got to be
15.
actually. No, it's probably only got to be 8 feet or something like that.
However long his par putt on 17 was, I think that's where you got to put it. And I'm taking Steph Curry no
What
matter
is
what.
Steph Curry's percentage from 3?
Probably like career, probably like 48 or something. Probably maybe
What?
higher.
If it's
I
that
don't know.
high, that's preposterous.
48%.
No, it might be lower than that. I don't know.
I would love
don't
to know what the even statistics are, though, Frankie, if you're looking that up. Like,
Steph Curry 3-point percentage.
I bet you it's comparable to a 9 foot
Yeah,
putt.
dude, it's .428.
So it's like
42%.
43%.
43%.
What's
That's
tour
insane.
average from 10 feet?
So the PGA Tour average
Four.
from 10 feet is 40%. So yeah, about
Wow.
Close, dude. That's close, dude.
so yeah. If you went with a Steph Curry 3 or a Cam Smith like 9.5, 10 footer.
I also think, and I mean, Steph has been around for longer, so he just has a sense of the moment. Not saying that Cam Smith doesn't, but it seems like when Steph needed to make a 3, he's always made a 3, and I have to factor that in.
Something about rolling the putt in, to me, like if I had a gun to my head and I had to choose one of them, I think I'd choose the putt.
I kind of think that
Something
too,
about
but I don't
watching it
know.
roll in, it just seems easier. But also, dude, like an 8 or 9 footer is not easy. You know what I mean? Like Steph
Here's what
wet.
I'll say.
Steph is wet. He's soaking wet.
Steph
Jordan
is
Spieth back in the day, back when he won at Chambers, that's the guy I'd take.
Made everything.
right, because right now you're comparing the guy who is unanimously the best at something of all time. Everyone agrees with it. With a guy who just he won the Open Championship, which is super impressive. But I'm not putting my life on the line. I'm putting my life in Steph Curry's hands.
I'm choosing Steph.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's the answer.
Because then if Cam just misses it on the low side, you just get shot. It's just like fuck.
And you got the best shooter of all time on the other end.
Also, like it's just a quicker death if Steph just misses the shot, just bricks, boom, you're done. Like you got to watch that ball roll for like a good 2 seconds. That's not good.
Could hit like a spike mark too, you know. It could like hit something. I don't know.
This is over,
Whereas like
yeah.
Steph's
Yeah.
just like, what's it gonna hit air?
My
Like,
heart's
it just
racing
hits
thinking about it.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. All right, boys. I'm gonna try to go hit some golf balls as well. We got Barstool Classic in St. Louis tomorrow. Then we're going up to the 3M, I believe, and we're gonna be doing some stuff around the Pro-Am.
Yeah.
And then we're playing. Or then we got the Barstool Classic in Minneapolis. Then we got Barstool Classic in Chicago. So we got a lot coming up.
It's crazy. I'll see you guys in Minnesota. It's insane that we're just doing that 3M thing. I don't know. I think we're playing in the Pro-Am, which means we play with a pro. Is a pro going to join our group?
I think so. I think it'll be like us. We have a pretty special guest we're playing with, and then a pro. I think will be like front 9 and back 9. I think is how they do it. Where we'll have a different pro each time. We got to kind of follow up all that. Everything just got lost when we're in Scotland, literally. But also just like when you're in Scotland, you kind of just are like in Scotland, and that's all you can really focus on. So we got to kind of figure out what the hell's going on. But I think we're playing in the Pro-Am.
I'm gonna fly. I'm flying to St. Louis. I'm flying to St. Louis tonight, and then I'm flying to Minnesota on whatever day. And then I'm just gonna. We got to figure it out because I think we're playing in that thing.
Somebody's got to get an answer on that because I think we're playing.
I think
Send it
it's,
to my
I think
team,
it's
they'll figure it out.
Frankie. I think it's you. I think it's you,
You
Frankie.
think it's me?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're our Minnesota guy.
All right.
I feel like. You cover the region. You're
I'll
like,
get the
that's-
answer. I thought Riggs had the better connect with a guy at the actual tournament. I'll get the answer though.
I think I did. I just think maybe
I'll
I
get the
didn't
answer.
email him back because we were in Scotland or something. But I think we're pretty much set. We'll figure it out. This is good behind the peak.
This is, by the way, for all those people. Yeah. For all the
Yeah,
people
this
listening,
is
this
it.
is how we do everything.
Everything.
We just like. I think we'll figure it out at some point, or we'll just show up.
We're just gonna be idiots standing there, be like, "Where's our tea time?" And we're like, "It's a fucking
Like-
PGA Tour." And if we are playing in that, there's like that's gonna be our first time with real spectators, right?
Oh, that's terrifying.
Like a pro-am's pretty fucking terrifying. We've always talked about that. Pro-am days are a problem. They're shooting balls into the fucking
Murdering
galleries.
people
It's
with golf
like,
balls.
I mean, I've seen a couple of shots that Trent's hit. He hits that low fade off, like that low like turner. He'll hit it way left and he'll come all the way back into the fairway. But they start out low, dude. Like if there's someone on that side of the tee box, they're taking their heads off.
This is the real reason I've been grinding at the range. This is why I've been grinding. I'm not trying to break 90. I'm trying not to kill somebody with the 3.
We gotta get those things high and safe. Just like tee it up high, and let's just make sure that ball is above head height.
Frankie, though, you got the kill shot. Like, at least Trent's hitting that five.
Oh, yeah.
Yours is that low hooky miss.
That low
which
hook.
Is like,
Yeah.
yikes, is that the bad one? That one's coming. That one's picking up speed, where at least Trent's is like slowing down quickly. That one's getting faster.
And our special guest is known to have a couple duck hooks in him. So yeah, I
Strong
think.
boy, that man that's going to join you too.
Oh man, fuck, dude.
All right, boys.
right.
I'm gonna go
Good.
fight
All right,
Spider-Man Ninja combo.
travels.
So,
Yeah, good luck, Riggs. Good luck in
thank
that
you.
battle.
I'll see you in St. Louis
Get
tomorrow,
smoked.
and then we got Minnesota. We got all kinds of shit coming up. So thanks everybody for listening.
Congrats.
Per usual. Congrats to Cam.
Congrats to Cam Smith.
Bummer for Rory. Hit it hard.
Hit it hard.
All right.